In next lessons, I will show you absolutely new, available only Unreal Engine 5 modeling tool. First we need to activate few plugins. Let's go to edit plugins and just check modeling tool editor mode should be activated, and static mesh editor modeling mode need to be activated. Then let's go to plugins and search UE editor, this one. And next plugin is geometry scripting. Geometry script. All these plugins allows you to get all modeling opportunities inside Unreal Engine 5. Also, we need to activate dynamic mesh actors. So we need to go to project settings in this window and go to modeling plugins, modeling mode tools, and modeling mode. And we need to activate enable dynamic mesh actors. What is this? I will show you in future. Go ahead and let's talking about shapes. But before starting, I need to show you a few important parameters of modeling mode. These two small windows, editing loads, you need to activate max available loads, and new asset location. So I can create a new folder for these assets, and in my folder I need to create, for example, geo folder. What is this? When I will create, for example, new shapes, for example, box, I have three types of geometry inside Unreal Engine: static meshes, volumes, and dynamic meshes. We activated a few seconds ago. So when I create static meshes, my new asset is created inside my content browser in my folder. Next type is volume. We can create volume geometry. Two new boxes is selected and no any geometry in viewer. This is volumes. We don't need this in my cases. And next is dynamic meshes. So what is dynamic meshes? Dynamic meshes, this is same geometry, but it working only in level. It's generated only in level, and no any meshes inside the browser don't create it. Inside Unreal Engine, we often use only static meshes for modeling, and we can select this first type of geometry. If you want to create these shapes, we need to select shapes type. There are 9 shapes types inside Unreal Engine 5. And next we can set some properties of my geometry. For example, I can create different dimensions of my box. Also I can increase subdivisions and set material, and I can create my new geometries. You can create 1, 2 or more box, and if you need to stop, just press escape or complete blue button, and your geometry creation will be completed. So we got 4 new boxes, and if you go to wireframe mode, we get first box with 1 by 1 by 1 resolution, and 3 boxes with big subdivided wireframes. Inside Unreal Engine 5 we have triangles. All geometry is divided by triangles. In future we will work with these triangles using these modifiers. So let me show you other different types of simple shapes you can create inside Unreal Engine 5. Next type is sphere, cylinder. So we have different properties of these shapes, but we have no any properties when we create shapes inside this menu. But modeling tools allows you create geometry with different subdivision and different dimensions. It's very important for modeling. Next, torus. This is all 9 types of shapes we can create inside Unreal Engine 5. Okay, all my created geometry is live in my folder and geo folder, this one. And when you remove your actors from outliner or from viewer, you can add this created geometry from content browser in future if you need. And let me show you what is difference between different type of mesh subdivision. Let's create two boxes. First of them should be with 1 by 1 by 1 by 1, and next should be 1 by 10 and by 1. Two different types of new geometry, and let me show you wireframes, this one. And what is this? What is difference between two types of geometry? When you use, for example, lattice instrument and want to move your points in this simple mesh, you will get this not interesting result. But if you use the same instrument lattice in the form window for this high poly mesh, you can select your vertex and create more complex geometry with this type of mesh. When you go to wireframe mode, you can see different types of these two types of mesh. Also, we can use, for example, another instrument, subdiv. In loop mode, we can get this type of subdivided geometry. And when you apply for this type of geometry subdiv modifier, we get only spherical geometry. We use same loop mode and get this type of result. So we can decide for you what subdivision you need in your geometry. Let me show you most powerful tool inside modeling mode inside Unreal Engine 5. First of them is Poly Extrude tool. We need to activate this mode and we can create new geometry using this mode. We have plane, this one with small grid. If you want to create your new geometry using this plane or this, just hold Ctrl and press on polygon. You need to align your create grid. So this Poly Extrude modeling tool has few different properties. We can create static meshes, volume or dynamic meshes. We can create different types of your new geometry. Simplest type is rectangle. We can select rectangle tool, and also we have different types of snapping. We can change snapping properties in this window. Let me create first point, and I create by 2 clicks small rectangle, and I can create this blocking type. Let me show you in lit mode. And when you need to create new polygon, just press Ctrl, select new polygon to align your grid, and we can create this one. Very simple and powerful method to create a new geometry. Second type, second important type is a freehand. So you can create not only rectangle type but different types of your geometry. Next type is circle mode. We can create center of circle, next radius, and next height of your cylinder. Next type is square mode. We can create square type of geometry, rounded. So we have created rectangle with rounded edges. And next type is ring. When you complete your creation, just press complete, and all these primitives is created in my geo folder. So if you want to create your geometry with this geometry creation in your geo folder, you need to select dynamic mesh, and we can create the same stuff, but any new assets no created in the content browser, and there are no any trash in your folder and the disk space. Next powerful tool is path extrude. This is the same tool, but you can create different paths using this tool. Also, we can create polygon to align your surface, and we can create this type of path. This should be, for example, walls for interior or castle. We can create using this method. Also, we can create opened walls, opened geometry using this path extrude tool. It's very powerful to create, for example, walls. And when your line is yellow, you can press on this yellow line, and you can set width of your walls, and next press to extrude of your walls. This is a powerful tool for architectural visualization, interiors creation, and other. And then press complete. Next very powerful instrument is a path rev, called path rev. You can select a plane you need to draw. This is working like 3D Studio Max lasso modifier. So we have this plane, and we can create a shape of this plane, for example this one, and second click on yellow line, create your this type of geometry using this drawed shape. You can edit your shape, just select vertices and moving it in different directions. When the shapes and geometry is created, you can press accept to finish modeling. Next important model tool is poly model. This is not polygon model, this is polygon groups model, and we have poly add tool inside. Just select this one, and we can work with this geometry. So first we can create, for example, edge loops, this one, to make complex wireframe. If you need, press accept, and we can move, scale, rotate, and translate your polygroups. Also, we can access to all vertices, so we can move, rotate, and translate all vertices, edges, and polygroups using this mod. Also, we can extrude using this button. We can offset. We can push and pull your polygons. It's very powerful mod. In set, let me show you. Old set. This is not an important tool, but we can do this stuff. And bevel your poly groups. To create geometry you need. When your editing is finished, just press accept, and we get your edited geometry. So we have no any modifier stack like in 3D Studio Max. We have no any nodes with my saved tools. and save actions with geometry, like in Houdini, for example. It's not very useful, but we have this simple modeling mode inside Unreal Engine 5. So next powerful tool is subdivide. This button I showed you a few minutes ago. So we can select geometry and just press this small button, and we have different types of your subdivisions. Just select one of them and set subdivision levels. This is a number of iteration. We can set 2 or 3 or 4 levels to create a subdivided geometry. Just press Ctrl B. Oh, this is dynamic mesh. This is not a static mesh, and we can select this in content browser to check polygon count. Next powerful tool inside tree model is tree add. This is triangles editing mode. So all geometry inside Unreal Engine 5 is consists of triangles, and we can edit these triangles. We can hold shift and select a few of triangles and edit all groups. So we have same stuff like in polygroups editing. We have extrude, offset, inset, and other tools. Let me show you. Just press extrude and we can create stuff like this. Another powerful mode, powerful tool is plane cut. Tool allows you cut part of your geometry and remove bad elements. If you need. So we can apply this spline cut to any type of your primitives, geometry, static meshes, dynamic meshes, and other. It's very powerful and interesting tool. Next powerful tool from this tab is mirror tool. Mirror tool allows you to create a mirror of your model using this plane. We can translate, rotate, and scale your plane. And create duplicated parts of your geometry. So this is one mesh, and we can edit these two chairs like one mesh. Let's talk about the form tab, and first very powerful instrument is vertex sculpting. Just select your object and press V sculpt, this one button. And this button allows you create simple sculpting on your geometry. You can set up your brush size. For example, you can use left and right. We need to always English keyboard should be enabled. We can use left and right brackets to increase or decrease brush size, or you can use this parameter. Also, you can change flow, spacing, and choose different sculpt mode from these templates. And also we can choose different follow mode. There are many interesting type of sculpt mode. And press accept if your sculpting is finished. Next powerful mode is desculpting or dynamic mesh sculpting. What is this? This is the same, but we can create new polygons using this mode. So this type of vertex sculpting is working only existing triangles, polygons, and dynamic mesh sculpting allows you to create new polygons using this instrument. Also, there are many different types of brush. We can select, for example, smooth and create smoothing and a different type of manipulation of your geometry, like in this brush. Let's decrease strength. And press accept when your sculpting is completed. Next button is smooth. You can smooth your your mesh. Also, you can add some steps for this. You can use all these instruments for any of type of your meshes, for example, megascans, asset, and other asset. So, for example, let me show you next very powerful mode is lattice mode. It allows you to deform any meshes with control points. So let me select this chair, press lattice, and we get this small red dotted gizmo, and we can add some new points to this gizmo, and all these points allows you move my geometry using these little dots and this gizmo. If you want to add new points to your selection, just hold Shift. If you want to remove any points, just hold Control and remove your vertices. Also, we can scale your points to get very interesting result. And press accept. Next very powerful instrument is warp. I need to create, for example, cylinder. Show you this warp instrument. In warp mode we have three different types of operations: bend, twist, and flare. For example, bend allows you create this type of bending. We have to separate part of your geo, lower part and upper part, and we can create bending for lower part and upper part separately. Also, we can flare mode. Very interesting mode. And next, twist mode allows you rotate upper and lower part of your geometry. Look to this small checker and to understand this mode. So let me select bend, press accept. Next, another powerful instrument is displace. Just select your geometry, press displace, and displace allows you add different type of displacement noise for your geometry. Add subdivision, and there are any types of displacement map. For example, we have text. We can add texture for displacement using this small window. We can use random noise, and we can use very interesting parallel noise and sound wave, for example. And if your editing is completed, just press accept. Also, we can use all these instruments for any megascans assets. We can just select lattice and edit this geometry using this powerful instrument. So if you mesh high poly, Unreal Engine 5 working slowly, but it allows you work your geometry you need. So we can change, for example, dimensions of my meshes, and we can use, for example, these points to edit your geometry. If you don't need this long part, you can do this manipulation with your geo. Next very powerful tab is transform. So we have pivot instrument for editing pivot any of your meshes. So best place for your pivot is center of your geometry and bottom part of bottom corner of your geometry. So if you select any Megascans asset or any Unreal primitive, we have pivot inside this in this point. It allows you using, for example, end button, put any object on floor, on ground. So this place is better place for your pivot in any geometry. But if you want to move your pivot, for example, in center of your geo, you can use this powerful instrument. So we can set pivot in center, bottom, top, left, right, and other position, or word origin also. It's powerful for imported geometry, FBX, Alembic, and other format. And we can use this powerful instrument to work this with pivot point and press accept. Next powerful instrument from this tab is align. It allows you align any objects. You can select 2 or more objects and press align and have different types of align. For example, we can choose pivot and align it to pivot of your geometry, and then select axis for aligning, for example, Z axis, and its instrument allows you align your pivot and set to this object on same position in Z axis. Next powerful instrument is convert. It allows you to convert your geometry from static mesh, for example, to volume or dynamic meshes. Sometimes we can use this for my purpose. Let's go to the next mesh ops tab, and very important tool is merge. So if you have any type of your meshes, for example, you want to create one single mesh from these guys for bending, or for create one texture for these parts, and modify UV coordinates from this part as one object, we can use merge tool. Just press merge and press accept, and we get one single object from these 5 elements. Next tool from this tab is simplify. For example, if you have very heavy mesh, heavy geometry with a lot of triangles, just press simplify and press algorithm. There are many interesting types of this tool, and press target percentage. So you can create very low poly geometry from this cylinder, or keep only 50% of triangles, and press accept, and you get simplified geometry. Next tool is remesh. It allows you retriangulate your polygons, your triangles. There are any different types of remeshing. So if you have any uploaded FBX or Alembic format inside Unreal with wrong mesh, you can use this tool. Next powerful tool is weld. It allows you weld overlapping edges inside your mesh. This tool allows you to remove hidden triangles from your static mesh or dynamic mesh. Next tab is attributes, and in this tab we can inspect all my mesh attributes, for example, wireframe, boundary edges, and other UV seams, normals, and other attributes. its tool allows you see your attributes and check maybe something wrong or all okay with your attributes. Next tool is allows you update mesh normals. Next tool allows you update mesh tangents, and other tool from this tab allows you work with polygroups and assign materials only for selected triangles if you need this. Next very powerful tool is boolean. I decided to create a separate lesson for this tool because it's very important instrument in any modeling software. If you have any type of your geometry, for example these boxes, and you have sphere, you can work with boolean. Boolean inside Unreal Engine 5 allows you working only with two objects. So first I select my boxes, this is A object, and second, holding shift, I select this sphere. Next we need to go to poly model tab and select mesh boolean tool, this one, and in this tool we have different operations. First of them A minus B, next B minus A. We can change these operations and you can see results of each of them. And also we can set a union operation to attach the sphere to this object. In most cases Boolean use it for difference A minus B, so we can do this task using this tool. Next press accept. And we can select another object to make hole from this sphere. Also we can attach all your boolean meshes, for example all your spheres, and create one operation for all attached spheres. I can select first my object, this A object, then select second object, press boolean, and in this case we can, for example, do union to attach one object to another. So we get one separate object, and we can start working with the UV coordinates of this separate object. Let's talking about UV coordinates and working with textures coordinates inside Unreal Engine 5. So we have great tab UVS, and we have some tools to work with texture coordinates inside Unreal Engine. Simple tool, and first tool I need to show you is project. This is very simple, fast tool. Allows you create different projection types such as boxes, cylinder, plane, and other. So let me put some materials on my object, and I can show you how it works. If you drag and drop any texture to your geometry, it's automatically create new material and apply. You can apply this material to your object. And all this mesh have own UV coordinates. In some cases it's work nice. For example, this sphere is working nice, this cylinder working nice, but this torus with little bugs. So if you select your geometry, for example a cylinder or box, and apply project tool, you can set projection type, for example cylinder, and change dimensions for a texture. Also we can work with this gizmo to change texture coordinates, and we can put different types of projection to different objects. You can change scale, for example 3 by 3. It allows you create 3 pattern of your texture on each face. Also you can change dimensions and translate your texture in different directions, and press accept. Next simple and powerful tool is Xform UV. You can select your object, select this tool, and you can select any face, and you can translate, rotate and scale any parts of your texture on each different polygons group. Next tool is Auto UV. You can select your complex geometry, press Auto UV, and there are a few different methods to create UV coordinates, and you can change different methods to set most correct and press accept. Next tool is unwrap, so you can select your geometry and press this button and choose different types of unwrapping and change these parameters. But inside Unreal Engine 5 we have different. In actor menu, go to asset tool, we have UV editor tool, and we can select, for example, this cylinder, and in display we can put any texture or just checkerboard, or put some, for example, textures you're working with. And if you press this small button or press W, you can change your pieces of geometry to change texture coordinates if you need. Simple but very powerful tools allows you working with texture coordinates inside Unreal Engine 5. Next very powerful mode is Cube Grid. Let's go to Poly Model and let's select this tool, Cube Grid, and we get this grid on my floor, and we can create simple setup from this grid, so we can change block size if you need. And next we can create this yellow boxes. If you create this box, we have some buttons, pull, push and other. So I recommend use hotkeys. For example, E hotkeys is for pull. We can press E and I move up my floor. Then I can select new boxes and press, for example, Q, and I can move this box down. It allows you create very fast any levels and some blocking or maybe walls in your interior, and other simple Minecraft style geometry. Also we can create, for example, we can select these cubes and press Shift E and move up these boxes, and then press E and create new flying geometry. Also we can working with corner mode. This one hotkey is Z. You can select Z key and select two corners, and if you press Q you move down your edge. And if your editing is completed, just press this blue button complete, and you get your geometry inside folder you choose before start modeling. If you need to edit this geometry, you need to select them and go to Poly Model tab and press Cube Grid, and you can create another geometry inside this asset. Let's talking about modeling mode UI customizing. So we have too many gray buttons and very hard to find button or tool you need. So let's go to Edit, Editor Preferences, go down and select Modeling Mode. In this window we have few different menu. First of them tool section order. Just press this plus button and we can change order of these tabs. For example, if you use baking, just press go to select and go to modeling, and baking mode in first position. Menu is tool favorites. If you need, for example, cube grid, you can type cube grid. You can add another tool. For example, I need box. I often use box, and go to modeling mode. We need to set a correct name of this tool. So correct name is cube GR and press enter. So let's go to modeling mode and we get a cube grid and box in favorite tab. Next is section color. We can change color of any section if you need. For example, I often use create tab and we can set color. I recommend use dark color because we have white label, so we can use this dark color with this mode. And next tab is tool color. We can change color of some tools. So I create some mistake. We need to type tool and section name. We need to create dot between section name and tool. So let's change another color, for example shapes cylinder and color shapes.cylinder and color is green. Let's go to select modeling and yeah, it's worked. So we can export all these changes to any file and we can import it setup to another project. We create this only for your currently project and we can export and import this text file to every project you need.